Hello everyone, welcome to Always Open. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about your worst misconception you had in life about TV and movies, if you've ever faked it in bed, and we have a question from Sydney, who's 22, about asexuality. But before we get started, we got to get drunk. And Mika, you know the shot well.
I do. Don't touch it. You're not allowed to touch it. The thing about blowjob shots are, you gotta do it with your mouth.
Yeah, so this is the blowjob shot, which a lot of people have submitted, but this one is from Reese H, and it's half Kahlua, half Bailey's, and it's topped with whipped cream, and apparently you're supposed to do it without touching it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
we can.
Yeah,
you can pull it closer.
Right? So how do you put your whole mouth?
You have to suction cup around as you would a dick.
Oh my god, okay.
and then what?
And then you tilt it back. Yeah.
We're gonna need more napkins.
We're gonna need more napkins.
Anybody wants a napkin?
Okay.
No, I'm a blowjob pro. I don't need a napkin.
All right.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I can't do it either.
I can't get my mouth open.
Come on, are you guys pussies or what? There you go.
Okay.
Oh, that's how.
You got this. Actually, I got my pussy now.
Look how much lipstick.
I know, same.
I'm sorry, it's not going over my mouth.
I'm just swallowing it and putting it back in the cup. I'm like.
Oh my god, look at this.
It's still there. I just keep.
Jesus Christ.
Chris is trying. And we're back. Nothing happened.
Oh
We
boy.
made a little messy.
I mean,
Someone made a little messy.
To be fair, though, it was my first blowjob. In all.
it happens to everyone.
It's true.
That being said, in real life, if I was gonna give a blowjob, I think I'd do a good job at it.
Yeah?
Yeah? What makes you
I know
say that?
because I have a dick and I know exactly like.
Yeah, but you can't keep a seal.
It's true.
What do you mean?
Well, I am your host, Barbara Dunkelman. And with me today, I have.
Mika Burton.
Ashley Jenkins.
Chris Damaris.
And so you were saying you would feel
I
like
feel
you'd be good at it?
I feel like I at least know what I like when it
Yeah,
comes
it's
to
like,
blowjobs.
well, it's the same principle as like anything else, like a massage, right? Like you're gonna give a massage that you'd want to receive,
Yeah, exactly.
unless you're feeling really lazy and then you just give a massage so you can get one.
Yeah.
Maybe like one of those like, here, I'll give you a massage.
Yeah, like.
Oh, do you want my
5 minutes,
turn?
no,
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
also feel like I wouldn't be good at eating a girl out.
I'll bet
I
you
am.
would be.
You're good?
Yeah.
Oh, I just don't like.
Because like Chris said, because I know what I like.
I know what I like too, but I feel like I just can't like make that.
Girl, I'm
with
sure
my-
you can execute.
I'm sure you could if you tried.
All right, let's go.
Bye, everybody.
So we wanted to
I'll
start
just
off.
watch.
We want to start off the show with a little icebreaker,
That wasn't enough.
right? Well, we're going to be doing Never Have I Ever. This has been highly requested from a lot of people who watch the show. And
Oh,
so
boy.
what we're doing for this, we have an extra shot here. It's not the same shot. I think it's a little more timid. A little
It's
timid.
a timid shot.
No whipped cream on this one. We're going to start with 5 fingers up. And basically what you do is you say, never have I ever blank. And if you've done it, you put a finger down. So
Okay.
the first person to lose all 5 fingers has to do the extra shot.
Wonderful.
So your punishment is getting drunk.
Ooh,
All right. Okay.
Bad.
bad. All right, who goes first?
I'll go first. All right. Never have I ever had a penis in my butt.
Oh wait, I did. No, I haven't. I did the rules wrong.
You heard it here first,
No.
everybody.
I thought
Chris Damaris has had a penis in his butt.
I thought you did it if you. I thought you put your finger down if you.
Have.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. That was a genuine mistake of understanding the rules.
I got you.
Yeah? Wink, wink. All right, mine is boring, but I know that most people have. Never have I ever broken a bone.
Oh. Wait.
damn.
Okay.
If you've broken a bone, you
I have
Yes.
broken up phone.
Never have I ever had sex in public where people might see me.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Never have I ever had a threesome.
Oh, Ashley.
Oh, Ashley. What?
So should we try to get Ashley out there?
Yeah, let's try to get Ashley out.
It's not gonna be that hard.
Never ever have I ever made out or done anything sexual in an airplane bathroom.
Never have I ever had sex in a park.
Oh! I don't play this game.
Well, we've learned something about Ashley today, and you get a shot.
Impressive.
Very impressive.
What does like in a car in a park count?
I think it's gotta be in a
I
park.
thought meant like on a park bench.
Oh, okay. I
Like
couldn't
in a
figure it
park.
out.
Okay, what?
Oh, so
Not,
you're
Okay,
not
all right.
on like on a park bench.
okay.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Wait, then we're still
I
in
was
the game.
counting like national parks and such.
I just didn't like the bushes.
What?
Of a park.
You fucked in the bushes of a park?
Is there no place?
I mean, I don't know. I don't remember. There's so many parks.
Did you get like prickled in the butt by a?
Yeah, it was
thorn
just
or
like
anything?
That's why the finger went down initially.
no. It was just like a like there's a park. Let's do it in the bushes.
Were you walking along and then you're just like, let's go have sex?
I don't remember exactly. I think it was one of those things like, where's the nearest place we could have sex? There's the park. Why don't we go in the bushes of said park?
How romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a very sexy picnic.
That's where like homeless people pee.
Well,
And
yeah.
where Chris fucks.
Yeah. Must have
Just
smelled really
it was
good.
just the once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
All
your
right,
turn.
your turn.
Oh, my turn.
Oh no, wait.
No,
did you
actually,
go? Yeah.
Oh, we go back around? Or do you
Wait.
go now?
Because I said,
said the
park,
park.
and then you retracted, so now it's your turn.
I didn't think we were gonna get this far around. Right.
I didn't think you would get this far. That's what you're trying to say.
Never have I ever cheated on a partner.
Never have I ever had sex with a virgin.
Have I had sex with a virgin? Oh no, that's still good.
Are you?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you're out.
Oh, you're out.
I'm out.
Whose virginity did you take?
My first boyfriend's.
Oh.
Oh.
We traded. Swapsies.
Swapsies.
50-50.
Either way, shot's mine.
Well, we're all back to normal. Drink up. Cheers, Ashley,
Cheers.
to being the winner/loser of that game.
You just cheers yourself. Nice.
That really was at the beginning a confusion of like the rules. Just to clarify,
Sure. It was.
I know. It wasn't.
really was.
That's honestly, there was a story on, I think it was on Reddit, and it was a guy who went in for a prostate exam and figured out, based on the prostate exam, and just like suddenly getting very excited that he liked things up his butt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bernice showed me that.
Yeah, this guy was a fantastic writer. Just the experience, just the feeling of like suddenly being like,
Didn't he say something about getting like stiff as a board or something
Yeah.
like that?
and then the doctor was like, it's cool.
I don't know if I would like things up my butt. And I'm too afraid to try
I
it.
mean, you got a guy in there. Give a plug a go.
Anytime something like is getting close to my butt though, on accident, I always feel like it's like, ah, gosh, shit.
Well,
Yeah.
start with like one finger by yourself and just you control
But
it.
then I just feel like I'm fingering my asshole. Like,
I mean, that essentially
you are
would be
essentially
what you're
fingering
doing.
your asshole.
it's just like such a, like, let me just lie on my bed and just like just,
Honestly, awkward. It's awkward to try and get it up there. Anyway.
yeah.
yeah.
If you're not into it, you're not into it.
That was like me trying to put a tampon in for the first time by myself.
But now you're pro at it, so
Especially
like
it's
anal.
It's true.
You'll
when
get
they've got
be pro.
those tampons now that like don't have, like they don't have an applicator.
I can't
It's
do
just
that.
a
I
tampon,
can't do
and
that.
you just gotta sort of go.
Yeah, you basically just like shove it.
That's dirty. Things could drip. I don't want that. Because just
Do you know how like
If
tampon
they're-
applicators work?
Don't you like shoot it in? Like, bam! It's like, right?
so aggressive.
And it
You
comes like,
stick in there and you aim and you go bam.
I feel like every time we get Chris on the show, we need to have like a whiteboard for him. So if we ask, like, you could just draw something out how it works.
Quick, does anybody have a tampon that we can unwrap and applicate to the
Let's
nothingness?
see, there's one woman here, and that's Mariel.
and she's off.
I don't want to explain it to you because I kind of want to just you to figure it out on your own.
We'll hand him a tampon and see if he can figure it
But
out.
there's
figure
this
it out.
kind of tampon. I think it's OB. Is the
OB,
brand?
yep.
Where it's just the tampon part, like the little white thing, tube thing, and you're supposed to just shove it up. Yes.
Yes! Come through.
all right.
Oh, and you got a cute wrapper and everything. Okay, show us. How does you tampon?
Bam!
But
Wait,
look, it's still in there.
all right.
So what do you think happens next?
Did you not like, I thought it,
Jesus!
am I doing it wrong? Do you not like, what am I, do you just pull it out?
Yes, the little hand inside your vagina comes in.
And it goes.
All right, I'm gonna start over.
Okay.
Bam. All right.
Can we get mercy on the poor kid, please? Barbara started to tear up.
All right.
Well, I think you might have broken it when you
So-
tried to apply it.
The secret is that the vagina
You pop the
holds
bottom
it in.
out first.
Yep.
See now it.
Oh, it's
click
like
it
it
out.
locks into place.
Yep.
And then you go
And ready?
vagina.
Bam.
Bam.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
like
now
a
this
magic
is
trick.
inside you.
No.
Have you ever put a tampon in water to see what happens?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
this is-
Well, I used to do that to my.
Don't put it in your drink.
Oh.
So
Maybe.
the OB tampon does not have this string. It's just this little white part.
Well, it doesn't have this part.
It doesn't have
No,
that part
but
either.
it does have. It has a string. It just when you
Oh yeah,
you
that's right.
unravel it.
You
yeah.
unravel the string. So you don't
so,
have to.
so how do you get it out?
This still has the string. Sorry.
But it's like
So
sort
this
of
hangs out of
bunched
your
up.
vagina. Like these are your lips right here, and it hangs out.
I usually
And the
tuck though.
Do you ever?
want
Do you,
to
have you ever lost
That's
the
the
string?
that's the tail of avoid me
There
right
have
now.
been times. There have been
Tale
times
of avoid
when
me.
If we had a blue drink, we could recreate a tampon commercial.
It's true.
True.
Why is always a blue drink?
Because no one wants to see red.
blood.
Blue is more like
Clean.
PG.
It
Clean.
looks clean
Yeah.
too. It looks like, oh wow, yeah, I'd totally wanted that in my vagina.
Nothing clean about it. Period.
I mean, I don't know.
Nothing.
It's the cost of doing
makes me feel
business.
good.
Nothing.
Yeah, you don't want it. It's too graphic if you have the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like soak it in a steak.
Yeah.
So you have lost the string.
I haven't lost the string. It sometimes, depending on what you're wearing, it gets like shoved into crevices,
Yes.
or like it goes backwards and like more into your butt area.
Sometimes
and then you're
that's
kind
the
of like
goal.
searching.
And you
'Cause
gotta
then
like
it's not
dig
like
a
hanging
little bit.
around though.
Yeah.
You don't want to hang
Well,
it
that's
around.
you almost had something in your butt then.
A tampon string. I had a friend.
Butt adjacent.
I had a friend who, in high school, she forgot she was wearing a tampon and put another tampon in, and didn't know until she pulled out her other
my
tampon, and the
God.
other one came with it.
Oh well, at least it came with it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard horror stories about them getting stuck in there, having to go to the doctor and get them extracted.
That's my fear, like me
miracle
forgetting
of
I had a
life.
tampon.
I
Yeah.
read a story back when Teen Vogue was still a thing, or it was like Teen People or something. And I don't even think I was a teen yet. And it was like a horror story about toxic shock syndrome. And from then on, I'm always paranoid about like tampon time. Cause like that shit will fuck you up. It's like, the girl was like, my arm went numb. And then I went blind for a few weeks. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, well, it could be fatal.
Yeah.
Toxic shock syndrome.
From tampons.
Leaving a tampon in too long. Which, I mean, some people are a
Dangerous, what
little.
you got right there. That's a
It's a
weapon.
weapon.
Are you just gonna
Careful,
keep that?
ladies.
I know how to apply this now.
I learned.
Bam.
Well, I can't think of a better way to segue into our first ad read. Thanks to HelloFresh for supporting this episode of Always Open. HelloFresh is the meal kit delivery service that makes cooking fun, easy, and convenient. The recipes are set up so that anyone can make a delicious and nutritious home-cooked meal in 30 minutes, whether you usually cook for yourself or are not so comfortable making home-cooked meals. HelloFresh sources the freshest ingredients, measured to the exact quantities needed, so there's no food waste. I've teamed up with HelloFresh, and they are offering everyone in our audience $35 off your first week of deliveries when you go to HelloFresh.com and use the offer code OPEN35. I've really enjoyed making the meals HelloFresh has sent me. If I bought all the ingredients, it would have cost a lot more, and I would have had a lot of leftover ingredients that may have been thrown away. And the meals that I cooked only took about 30 minutes for me to make. So that's HelloFresh.com and use the code OPEN35 to get $35 off your first week of deliveries. I actually made it a HelloFresh meal last night.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that shot glass.
It's haunted.
It's a Ouija glass.
Spirits.
That scared me so much.
It is moving.
Have you never seen that happen before?
Is
No.
hold on? Is this where we like put our fingers on it and ask
yeah.
it a question?
Yeah. Ouija glass.
Wait, hold on. Chris, put the tampon down.
On the stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Clean up.
I want to see if
Clean up crew.
It's a squeegee.
It's very.
It's a very absorbent
Oh, wow,
tampon.
look at that.
See why use blue when you can use shot?
if you ever have a bloody nose, just stick one of those up your nostril.
I learned
Yeah.
that from that Amanda Bynes movie.
Which one is that?
The one that was modeled after 12th Night. She's the man.
Oh, she's the man. I actually really like that movie.
Me too. It was good.
Well, speaking of movies, wow, that was a perfect segue.
You're welcome.
So this topic is for the worst and it's submitted by Ben D. And Ben wants to know the worst misconception you had about life because of movies and TV.
I have a good one for this one. Movies and TV when I was in middle school and like in elementary school, I was always thinking when I go to high school, when I go to middle school, like TV's like 16 or like movies like Clueless or something. I was like, there's gonna be like the cheerleaders and the football players and like the groups and there's gonna be cliques and homecoming and drama and if it's Degrassi, probably murder and suicide. And I went to an all-girls school in like middle school and I thought, okay, well maybe it's just different because I go to an all-girls school. And it was clearly nothing like that. And then I had friends in other like high school and middle schools and I was like, so is your school like, you know, like insert TV show here? And they're like, no, we go to class.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you don't have like, you know, the cheerleaders that wear cheerleading outfits every day? And they're like, no. They have practice and then wear them on weekends. Like, what the fuck? Are you stupid?
They wear them on game day.
Yeah, they wear them on game day. I'm like, so they don't like rule the school and like wear cheerleading outfits every day? And they're like, no.
Well, I don't know. I think there is some of that. I don't think it's like, I think it's
I think it exists.
exaggerated.
It does?
Yeah.
To some level.
Like
Yeah.
there's some people who seem to have a lot of friends, and that's, you know, generally like pretty people that know how to do things like makeup, of which I was never one.
Yeah. They're not until
You know, and are like good at stuff,
Right.
like talking to people. You know, and so you have people that like have a lot of friends, and you have people who have not developed all those social skills yet, and are like, I wish I could be that people.
At my high school, like we had the groups. Like there was the clearly popular kids. We had
Yeah.
people who
Right.
weren't- but it wouldn't be like, oh, that table's where the popular kids sit.
Exactly,
It's just like,
yeah.
oh, that group over there, those are the popular
It was
kids.
just,
Yeah.
I think it's
We had where you sit in commons.
Like, we definitely had cliques and stuff, like what school doesn't, but we never had those stereotypical, like, high school.
emo kids
Yeah, like,
and
and
the
the this and
cheerleaders.
the
how big of a
that.
school did you go to?
It was 500 kids total.
Mine was
Okay.
pretty small. Mine
My
was like
school was like
3,000.
2,500 people, and I feel like there was definitely groups and there were like cliques. That it's just TV's an exaggerated form of it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's and it's not like one of those things where like one group would be like, oh my god, what a nerd. He's got glasses and plays video games. It's not like as exaggerated.
Why all of a sudden a character from Strong Bad? Oh my god, so good.
I think my school was like 1,000 people, but it was in a very like religious, like high, like upper middle class area, and so we didn't have enough of the like rebellious types to just like here's like the goths and here's the emos and here's the skaters and here's the hippies. There weren't enough of them, so they all kind of like had to like group up and be like, we're all one.
I never
And then
belonged
we had
to
like
a certain group.
we had the cowboy group, and then we kind
What?
of had a sports group.
You had a cowboy group?
Yeah, well, I feel like most of my school was a cowboy group.
Now that's a misconception. Movies don't teach you that.
That's
No,
true.
they don't. And let's see, what else do we have? There were sports people, but like we didn't have any. You know, it wasn't like Texas where if you're high school football, you know that's like the sport to be a part of.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like we had a swim team, and you know we had the teams, but none of the teams were like the thing. We like it's, you know, sports wasn't enough.
Right.
You know, and you know it's like there was like little groups like that, but it's more. It's not so much as like you're popular, like this is the clique. It's just everyone doing their own thing, and then some people were better at like talking to people.
Right.
Yeah.
I always thought I would also want to like sneak out of the house to like go to parties. Maybe video games had to do with that, not just like the social
Also
life.
the fact that like you had a good upbringing, you like your parents, you have a good family.
Well, they wouldn't let me do anything. They were like,
Oh,
you
really?
can't go out of the house. You can't do. No, I had a very strict
So
upbringing.
you did not sneak out ever?
Because I was like, if I sneak out, I'm dead. Like, and I also didn't feel like, because a lot of my friends I knew did like sneak out of the house and do stuff, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, you don't have black parents. Oh no, that was a hard no. Like, I didn't act out.
Yeah.
Because like all you needed was like that look from my mother,
They
and it's
instilled
like,
the fear in you.
oh, the fear was instilled so early.
Yeah.
Like so early. My mom was like, you never cried in public. I'm like, yeah, because you would have killed me.
Did you sneak out, Barb?
I didn't sneak out, but I snuck someone in multiple times. Yeah.
Into your
ya?
house?
Oh yeah, it was for sexy times. It was my first
You
boyfriend
snuck a boyfriend into your house
before
to
my parents
bang.
knew we were dating. Yeah.
under your parents'
No.
watchful ear.
There was
Watchful ear.
the first couple times when I started sneaking him in. It was just after everyone went to bed, and I would sneak him in the front door and come up. The problem is
Real sneaky.
my front door makes a beep 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 sound when you open it because of the alarm system, and so like we'd have to make sure everyone was like dead asleep. And one time I snuck him in, and then I heard my mom upstairs. She went, "Barbara, someone there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just my friend saying hi. He was in the neighborhood." And then like I had to pretend to say goodbye to him, and then I snuck him in like 10 minutes later or something like that.
God.
But because of that, I only one time snuck him in to my bedroom window. I literally got a bed sheet.
Did you get that
literally
idea
got a bed
from
sheet.
movies?
Yes.
You're like, this is how this has to be done.
Because I was on like the second floor. I got a bed sheet, threw it out my bathroom window, and he climbed up the bed
God.
sheet into my window, which was like probably this big.
Oh my God.
I did something like that. This is a way lamer version of that. It was at band camp.
This one time at band camp.
Yeah.
What did you play?
I played trumpet for. I quit. I didn't play all through high school. I played for like a year or two and then quit. But it was like band camp, and we were up on this like. It was actually in Austin. We were in some like high-rise thing.
Mm-hmm.
We were up probably 20 floors, and
Holy shit.
we were trying to go to the floor below to like because there were girls below ours. And but they also had told they told that there were parents like waiting outside in the hallways, and they like taped
shit.
people's
Like
doors.
hallway monitors?
Yeah, and they
It's like a
taped
video game.
and they taped the doors so that they knew if you'd open your door during the night because it like the tape would break or something.
Oh
That's
my
what
This was band
God.
camp or was
that's
it
what they
Nazi
said.
camp?
I don't, and so we were all terrified of leaving, and so we were like, well, why don't we? I've seen this in movies. Why don't we just build like a ladder or like a rope out of sheets? And we tied it to the bed.
Yeah.
And it was really dumb because we were like 20. We would have died.
You could have died.
Yeah.
But we went down and then climbed back up.
Did you at least do anything?
That was what was so lame about it. Like we did this, and then when we got there, the girl's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
like,
they didn't want to get in trouble. I assume.
yeah, and so it was just kind of awkward. We like hung out for a bit and talked, and then we're like, well, I guess we're gonna go back up our rope,
Yeah.
and then we did, and I was like, well, that was cool, and then we found out later, and we got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were like, you could have died, and we're like, yeah, but they do it in movies, and they're fine.
Yeah. They die in movies.
They die in movies too.
There were girls down there.
So like we had
Yeah,
to.
How old were you at that time?
like 15.
Yeah, at 15 you kind of do anything
Yeah.
you can to get some
See,
female attention.
Well, we
was-
didn't even do anything. It was just like conversation.
Well, it's just like,
Yeah, but it was hopeful.
It was
right?
hopeful.
hopeful,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
the dream was there.
and it was also like you're rebelling. You're just
Yeah.
you're doing something you're not
Yeah, we're
supposed to
being
be
like
Yeah.
the super rebellious band kids.
Wow. That was the benefit of going
with
to an
your
all-girls
trumpet.
school with a bunch of gay girls. Because my friends would come over for sleepovers. Mother, if you are watching this, turn it off right now because you never knew about this, unless she knows and I don't know. But your
She
friends
knows.
would come over to hang out and have sleepovers. Friends were girlfriends.
Yeah.
'Twas lovely.
Sleepover
Didn't have
party.
to sneak over anybody.
You ain't watching a movie in there.
And then my mom was like, "Oh, you guys are like sharing beds. How cute." I'm like, "Yup, super cute, best friends."
More like, yeah, super cute. Between someone's legs, it was a joke.
I mean, I
I'm
snuck
done.
I snuck out of the house, but it was stupid. I snuck out to go toilet papering.
I've done that.
Did you get in trouble?
Like TPing someone's house type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, to go. But here's the thing: is like I knew my neighbors and I liked all my neighbors, and I didn't actually want to toilet paper them.
Thank you.
So I took toilet paper and then we ended up. I was with a couple of friends. We just walked around the neighborhood for a while instead, and then I like snuck back in after having not done anything bad, and the dog fucking barked.
Oh, so you got
I got in
caught.
so much trouble.
Did you tell your parents you just took a midnight walk?
Yeah, they're not buying that.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're not buying that.
I somehow suspect that they wouldn't buy that from you.
No.
Did you
No,
ever
they
get caught sneaking a boy in your house?
Just that one time?
Just that one time, but no repercussions came because he was saying goodbye?
Yeah. I also was like 17 at the time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they were just turning a blind eye. They knew exactly what you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. It's like, come on.
Like imagine this, like if you had a kid right now and they like someone rang like, you know, they like you hear the front door open at 2 in the morning. And they're like, my friend was just stopping by to say hello. How fooled are you?
I'd be like, okay.
Exactly.
Me, though, like, I'm very open-minded, so if I had a kid, I'd probably be like, just be safe.
So you'd
Yeah,
be like
that's
the
the
mean
problem,
girl's
like,
mom. Do you
with
need
the-
any snacks, condoms?
Yeah.
But like with a kid, like doesn't that like they don't want you to they want to pretend that you have no idea that they're having sex at all.
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. It's hard for me to tell because I don't think I'll ever have kids.
I feel
So
like
I can't even put myself into that mindset.
I feel like I would just leave things like condoms, lube, brochures in like conveniently findable places that are like hidden, but that shit's not hidden.
It's like, Mom, why are there condoms in the cereal? What is it?
Or she's like, happy birthday!
My freshman year of college, my mom sent me a package like within my first week of school, and it was expensive alcohol, a box of condoms, and she was like, if you're gonna drink good alcohol. If you're gonna have sex, be safe. And that was it in the note. And I was like, this is an awkward present.
Yeah.
But go mom.
But like, go mom.
And you're like,
mom.
Mom, I never got it. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I don't know
you're
what
talking
you're talking about. But like, that was always her, because she had that parent mentality of like, I know my kids are gonna drink, like my kid is gonna drink underage. I know my kid is gonna have sex before marriage.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'd rather her be safe, and then I'd rather her not drink cheap booze. And then, you know, we have like a trust going on. So
Oh, I'm guessing you
nice.
drank cheap booze.
I drank so much cheap booze. My mom tried, but I was like, I
I don't
mean,
even think that matters that much. That might have been
trying to
her
set you
just
off
being
on the
like,
right
hey,
foot.
it's okay to be
Exactly.
honest
Yeah.
about stuff.
Yeah.
Bacardi
What about you,
party.
Chris? What was your misconception, do you think?
I do think sex is like more romanticized in
Yeah.
movies. Like it's more,
they don't show the
I don't know,
bumbling.
there's a lot of crossfades in movies.
Lots of blowing curtains.
Yeah.
A lot of like perfectly naked, non-sweaty, non-gross people like just moving in sync with each other.
Yeah. It's,
Romantic
I
music
think
in
real
the
sex can be
background.
No
like,
farting noises.
Yeah.
there's always like, yeah.
No
there's-
giggles or like, nope, not that.
Oh, you know what I,
Cramp.
the thing that I've never seen in a movie is like, have you ever, you're having sex and then like your body somehow pressed together and it makes like a fart noise?
Yeah.
Like, like the skin, like
Well, it's because you're sweaty and like
yeah, and then all of a
folds
sudden
the
it's like,
skin. Yeah.
and it's not an actual fart. It's just like skin being squished together, and it's like,
Yeah. And you
all right,
giggle
back
bit.
to business. You know.
Yeah, and that's how you know you're comfortable with something.
There's this movie, and it's called, I want to say it's called 100 Girls. It's about this, so this guy, he's, like he is doing some repair work in like a girl's dorm or something. Power goes out, he's in the elevator, like with some girl. It's full dark, so they can't see each other. They get to talking, and they get to banging because, you know, whatever.
Right.
But then, you know, they fall asleep. He wakes up and she's gone because the elevator's repaired and they just like left the unconscious dude in the elevator.
Kind.
As you do. And so his whole thing is like trying to like find this girl, and there's this really lovely story about having sex with this girl, and it's like, it's the farty, laughy, messy kind. That's not like movies. It's just like a real good time.
Yeah.
And it's a really lovely story. I highly recommend it. It's a great film.
100
actually.
Girls? Mm-hmm. I do like when there's movies or TVs that do depict things in a very realistic fashion. Because a lot of movies try to be very like romanticized, or like this is the perfect scenario and everyone is looking good and everything is smelling fine and there's no awkward moments. And it's like, no, that's not the case with normal sex.
Yeah.
Mine is explosions.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Nothing
That's
explodes.
true.
Nothing explodes right. In movies, everything explodes awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
I-
real.
I
Like
was
two
thinking
little
of-
cars like bump each other and they just both fucking explode. It takes an
It's so
awful lot to
true.
set a car on fire. Do you know that?
Really?
I don't think I've ever seen in real life. I've seen all the explosions I've seen were making movies.
And they're really hard,
Yeah.
right? They're hard to
The-
do, and like they're hard to engineer and like make look cool.
The only thing I've seen that was like a movie thing in real life was I've seen fire.
I have seen something explode in real life actually, and it was glorious, kind of like movies.
Yeah?
I don't know if I've ever told the story. My father set his phone on fire once.
How?
Was it a
So-
Galaxy Note 7?
Yep. Wait, no, it wasn't a Galaxy Note 7. It was what was it? Sony Ericsson.
Okay.
It was back in the day, and he was outside, and he was talking on his phone, and he got sweaty. And so my father, the genius, decides I should put it in the microwave to dry it off.
What?
No, he couldn't have possibly thought that.
So I vividly remember walking past him and going, "Oh, hey, Dad, what are you microwave?" And before I could get microwaving out of my mouth, our microwave exploded into like this glorious Roman candle and scorched the ceiling of our
Holy
kitchen.
shit.
And I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Right.
And he was like, "I microwaved my cell phone." And I just remember going, "You would excuse me?" Like,
Had he never had a fork in a microwave, anything before?
his mind thought, I need a phone. And, you know, this is when phones had keys still. It wasn't all touch screens. And so, you know, the water got into the keys and he panicked. And so he thought, I need to dry it quickly.
Didn't think maybe like a blow dryer.
A blow dryer, a bag of rice, turning it over on a towel, none of that. He thought, his immediate brain went phone, microwave, and he's like, I only put it in for 5 seconds. It's like, Jesus Christ.
All those solutions take time.
Yeah, 5 seconds is all he needed.
That's awesome.
It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
PSA, don't put your cell phone in the microwave or anything that has any metal or any electronics
You know what would be
whatsoever.
fun? It's like
I can't
it's
believe
like
he's, like to this day, we always make fun of him. It's so great.
it's like you're like, well, ma'am, why did you microwave your baby? It's like it was wet.
It was wet.
Only
trying to
5
dry off.
seconds.
It was wet, and I was trying to dry it off, and I thought
Like, I feel like your shirt comes out of the dryer and it's still damp. Like, let me just throw it in the microwave for 5 minutes.
Here's the thing, your shirt would work.
Yeah, a cell phone.
No, but the way
Technically speaking, I think it would work.
Can we
It would be like it's not
I
good for
don't
your
think
shirt.
you could microwave clothes.
I don't think it's good for it. Like it's gonna fuck it up, but it's not gonna explode the microwave.
what
we
would
do that?
happen if you microwave a shirt?
Can we?
Okay, so do you remember the series Will It Blend?
Yeah.
Can we start a series of Will It Wave?
That
Will it
exists.
What?
Will it microwave exists? They
Damn it.
microwaved an airbag and almost died once.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite series, Will It Microwave.
That's
on
fucking
YouTube.
dangerous.
Yeah, no, they microwaved a lot
Wow.
of shit. They microwaved like iPhones exploded. But they microwaved an airbag.
That seems expensive, to be honest, because you have to buy a new microphone.
Microwaves are.
They got a lot of
Microwave it.
donations.
They buy a new microwave every time.
Because like they were a really popular YouTube series, just like Will It Blend, and they got a lot of donations and microwaved some really dangerous shit, like some fumes and toxic stuff, and it was a pretty good series.
We've got here some plutonium.
Will it microwave?
Let's find out what happens.
Will it microwave? Da, 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 and everyone's dead in the next episode.
Oh, rip.
Rip, right, indeed. All right, so let's move on to Ask Us Anything. And this is submitted by Samantha L. And she would like to know, have you ever faked it in bed?
It's happened like maybe a couple times where it's like, maybe it's like, if I've already came a bunch of times, and I'm like, well, I don't think I'm gonna finish from this, but I also don't want to. They want me to finish,
Right.
and so
How do you fake that?
Yeah.
not well. It's just like, I definitely. It was just kind of like back a while ago.
I
and
assume
like,
it was when you were a little younger.
Yeah, and it was like, ah!
You just yell a lot. But I mean, like in terms of, because as a woman having sex with you, I would expect fluid.
Well, but if
somewhere.
it's in a
it's
condom,
inside-
You just,
If you're in a
throw
condom,
the
yeah.
if you're in a
away
condom,
before
they're
you
not
can
gonna
see
like
it.
check it.
True.
Yeah.
It would be funny if you were dating
I'm
someone who's
sorry,
like, let
are
me
you
see.
sure you did?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to check this.
I've
So-
actually heard stories about very like controlling women being like, let me see it.
What?
Show it to me, because it's like they were very controlling, and the guy obviously probably didn't want to have sex because it was a bad relationship, and then she would be
Weird.
like, let me see
Yeah,
it.
that's scary.
Weird.
Show it to
Yeah,
me.
that's making the relationship a
terrifying.
lot better right
Yeah,
there.
if that's you, get out of there.
Yeah.
Don't be with that person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's one of those things, but like most, I don't. That's not a thing that I think guys do. I don't think
Yeah.
that's the issue.
I mean, I think there's guys who do it because it's like situations like that where they've had sex already a few times that day or that hour or whatever it is, and they just can't. They just can't.
yeah, or it's. Yeah.
Or
it's,
like for the same reasons. Like I absolutely have, and it's usually for the other person's feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's like this isn't gonna happen. I've had too much to drink, or like I know this isn't gonna happen. I'm enjoying myself just fine, but I know that like that isn't gonna happen. I'm okay with that. But a lot of other people would like, I'm worried that they take it as like a sign that like they didn't do good enough.
Like they're not successful.
Right.
And that's not what's happening. It's just like biologically, chemically, whatever's going on here, it's just not gonna do this thing.
It's not me. It's not you. It's me.
It's a huge.
Yeah, but no one believes
No one
that
believes
because
that.
that's
No one
like
believes
that's
that.
just breakup bullshit
What?
they're doing.
I think like a lot of what people have in their mind about sex is that there's an end game to it, like with a guy finishing and a girl having an orgasm. But you guys could all agree with me.
Sometimes
Sex
it's
is
just
enjoyable just
nice. Yeah,
fine
sometimes
without
just-
finishing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think like, oh, in order for him to feel like he satisfied me, I have to have an orgasm.
Yeah.
And that's not the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just fun times. It
So-
doesn't have to be orgasm times.
Exactly.
But like I've dated like younger guys before, and it's like they're not always like to that point yet. And it's like, well, like I'm not trying to like break them, and so so just like I'm like, that was really good, thank you.
Thank you. That's like
Pat
when
him on
someone
the head
says,
too.
No,
someone
but
says
you
I
know-
love you, and you're like, I love spending time with you.
No, but then it's like high five, good time.
Well-
it's
Right.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I want you to know that like everything was good, and if that's what you interpret as like the seal of approval, then fine. I will fake it instead of just being like I'm not gonna come.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you think that means failure, then that's a bummer, and I don't want that because I'm having a good time.
That makes sense.
I've had a conversation with a girl before where she was like, we having sex. It was like not the first time we'd had sex, and then after we were done, she was like, "Wow, that was really good," blah blah blah. And then she's like, "Honestly, the first handful of times we had sex, I faked it, but that was real." And I was like, "Oh."
What did you feel? After
And
that?
I was like, "Well, you could have just said that was really good."
Yeah.
But then she was like, "No, it's like, well, like I hadn't like." It was one of those things like. Whenever I'm first, she's like, I never can finish with someone the first few times. I have to get comfortable with them,
Yeah.
and then like kind of get. It's like a
But you still want to make them feel like they
yeah.
pleased,
And she was like, it's like it was like a. She was like, I wasn't. I'm not gonna have sex with someone and instantly come because
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with them. It's like a, I don't know, like.
it's absolutely a comfort level.
Yeah. And she
absolutely.
was like, so it was one of those things where it's like I never finished until like I've had sex with someone a few times.
Yeah, I mean, there was a relationship I was in where I faked it the entire time I was in that relationship.
Was that not exhausting?
Wow.
It wasn't exhausting for me. It was when I was younger, and I hadn't really like discovered parts of myself yet, and like what I liked and what I didn't like. So I remember the
Like,
first time,
Barbara, this is the clitoris.
pretty much like shit like that, where I didn't know because I was young. But then I remember the first time where I did finish during penetration, and I'm like, I've never experienced that before. That's amazing. But it's not like the be all end all because I still liked sex before that.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was just like a bonus, a cool bonus.
It is a cool bonus.
I do like the effort people put into it though.
What do you mean?
Because it, like, as a guy, is your goal like, I'm gonna make this girl come?
Yeah, I mean that's like yeah. It's like one of those things where, unless I know ahead of time that I think that she's like, oh, I don't know, unless she's like, oh well, it's
It's not gonna happen or
Yeah, I
something,
don't
yeah.
come just from normal penetrative sex, or I need to come from it's like, unless it's communicated ahead of time, then yes.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, it's like you have to go down on me to make me come. It's like, okay, then it's like understood. That's
Yeah.
what gets her off, and otherwise, yeah, it's a goal. And it's like one of those things.
Because I'm just saying, like, when that being the goal
Yeah.
of in a guy's mind during sex, it's like they want to get you there.
Okay, I have a weird. Okay, so
here's-
I've had.
I mean, I'm not saying guys only do this to girls or vice versa. It's just sex in general.
Though I do wonder sometimes too, like is there ever reach a point where it's like a girl isn't, you feel like you're not gonna come, and then you're like the guy's still going, and you want it to end because it's like
That's always
That's the only time I faked it is when I wanted it to end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's common.
Yeah.
Depending on how comfortable I am in a relationship, and I know like this is just state I'm in or the mindset I'm in, it's like I'm not feeling it, like I'm not gonna come, and I could tell like they're trying and trying. I'll usually be like, it's not gonna happen right now, and then it's like okay, we could chill out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's not anything. It's just like I can't get there.
I think because mine
It's like,
wasn't
it's
like
me.
a relationship. It was like a one night thing with a dude, and I was just like, this isn't.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't say this isn't, so I was just like, oh yeah, and I was like, let's get this over with.
or as Chris would go,
bam.
But yeah, I feel like I don't
the
know.
applicator there.
I know, just
Bam.
I mean,
the
visually
tampon's
that's
long
pretty
gone.
similar.
That's true.
No, I don't feel like faking it is malicious usually.
It's not meant to be, I think, in most cases. It's just like you want to make sure your partner feels like you're being pleased. And if you feel guilty in yourself that you can't get there, and it's like, oh, I don't want them to feel like they're doing something wrong, because it's not always the case. Sometimes it's just like, you're not there.
Sure.
Well, thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring, for sponsoring this episode of Always Open. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to create a website or online store. They have beautiful, award-winning designer templates, 24/7 customer service, and domains. If you've been thinking about starting your own website or online store, start your free trial today at squarespace.com/alwaysopen and enter the offer code ALWAYSOPEN to get 10% off your first purchase. Make your next move with Squarespace. I've made a website before.
Yeah.
I actually think it still exists. It was in college we had to create an online profile for ourselves, a digital profile. Oh. And so I did like a barbardunkelman.com, which doesn't exist anymore, so don't try to find it. And I was like, what do I do?
Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, hey Mika, did you ever have a website?
I knew this was gonna happen. I did. I made a website when I was 14 years old.
Yeah, you did.
And it is the stereotypical 14 years old girl website.
You really should have used Squarespace.
I should have used Squarespace, but no, I didn't. I made this website in conjunction with a Spanish project.
I don't think I saw any Spanish in that.
Excuse you, if you clicked on the Spanish project tag, it's right there.
Oh, I was just reading your love of Twilight.
Yeah,
and
I
things of
loved
that nature.
Twilight and Jonas Brothers, and I was still a weeb back when I was 14, which is so great. I had all my embarrassing like anime boyfriends. I had like a thing that said, "Trust no man, fear no bitch," which I want to have on a t-shirt.
Our subreddit picked up that.
Yeah, I knew it existed, and I remember getting hired and thinking, I should delete this before anyone finds it, and I forgot about
It
it.
exists forever.
Yeah, it does exist forever, but I forgot about it, and then all of a sudden,
You're a bad
you're
influence.
magical. Like all of a sudden, someone tweeted at me, "Have you checked the front page of the Rooster Teeth subreddit?" And then I saw the headline, "Is this Mika?" And I was like,
Whoa.
fuck, my past has come back to haunt me. But honestly, the good thing about it is that like 98% of the comments were just what I was expecting, which was like, yo, we were all 14.
Some of us are still 14.
Yeah. It's like, and that's what I can also laugh about it, because it's like I was 14. If this was like 16 or 18, I would want to die.
Yeah, before 15 is like a different age range than like when you're 16 plus.
Exactly. I looked back at some of my pictures from when I was 14, because I think there was that like 2006 versus 2017 or 2016 thing. And I remember like the picture that I posted, it was like me like emo looking over the shoulder, like in a bathroom mirror. And I was like, holy shit.
I also just loved it. Was like all pink
It was
and
so
like sparkly
pink.
everywhere.
And then I think one was like, "What's your favorite book?" It was like the Twilight series, and then it was like, "What's your favorite movie?" And I was like, "Twilight, duh." And I was just like,
and you're like Team Edward or something?
I was like Team Edward for life, and I was like, how do you want to die? I'm not gonna die. Edward's gonna turn me into a vampire.
Yeah.
Okay, take me into this, because I've always had trouble with Twilight.
Well, here's the thing.
So I tried. I didn't read the books, but my mom and my sister got super into them. And I read, I think like the first, half page and went, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Whatever this is, I can't do it. But I went to
Right.
the movie thinking maybe I can digest it in 2 hours and figure out, like, this is a phenomenon, like all these women are into it, and if, a lot of women are getting into reading for whatever reason, that's a really good thing.
Right. Yeah.
And if they're enjoying this, like, and so on, it's like, there's gotta be some really, like, great core that I missed in that first half page. I'm gonna go see this. And after the 2 hours, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Why?
Putting myself into my 14-year-old mind, who didn't have friends, no one wanted to date her, was very alone. I can understand the appeal of like.
Welcome to 18-year-old Ashley.
Right. Well, it's like that was like me growing up was like not.
Wait till I show you pictures of me, like when I was like 18. I've got to find them, because
Next time
this
you're
is-
on, you're gonna
yeah,
have to get
we
those
have to-
pictures.
This is pre-digital. Like, I'm gonna have to go home and take a
Yeah.
scanner.
Isn't some holiday
gonna-
coming up?
We just had it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
Let's
But
have
it's-
Christmas again, so
it's like-
Ashley go get her photos.
I feel like having this concept of like this guy who's devoted to you would like change you into a vampire, would like fight against who he is like appealing to a lonely person. So that's why I liked it at 14, and then I realized actually it's kind of fucked up.
Would you
but,
do
like,
that, Chris?
Would I change into a vampire?
Yeah.
Or like, well,
for the
For the one
woman?
you love, would you change her into a vampire so you can live with her forever if you were a vampire?
I don't
would you
know. I have
sparkle in the
commitment
sunlight?
issues, so forever is a long time.
It's a pretty long
Forever's
time.
Forever.
Make sure you really like that person.
I mean, forever, full stop. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Who wants to be around forever?
I don't.
I mean, I kind of want to see where the future goes, but at the same time, I hate living now.
I'd like to pop in and out.
So, yeah.
Popping in and out would be cool.
Like
if I
cryo
get, like,
sleep.
TARDIS
yeah.
would be nice.
A
Like
TARDIS would be nice.
hibernating.
Yeah. I'd like to be able to know what happens in our future, because I want to see, like, thousands of years, like, where technology has gone, but, like, I don't want to live through that because it's a long time.
It's a long time. A lot of shit's gonna happen in between all the good stuff.
Imagine how
Exactly.
crotchety people get by the time we're like 80.
Yeah.
Now take that and times it by like 20.
Yeah, I just want a TARDIS.
Well, let's finish things up here with our sexpertise question, and this one comes from Sydney, who's 22. And I actually don't know if Sydney is a male or female, but I'll read this question anyways. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on asexuality. I identify as asexual. I've never been sexually attracted to anybody and find the concept weird. Also, porn is boring to me and has no effect on me. People often say that asexuality doesn't exist because having sex is so natural for humans to want and need, but I don't care about it at all. However, sometimes I feel left out of conversations because of this lack of experience and part of life I don't have. Do you think I should try having sex, though, just to be sure that I truly don't experience sexual attraction? So just before we start, I assume you guys are on the same boat, I don't know much about asexuality.
I do.
I don't have a lot of experience knowing people who are asexual. I've never been asexual. So I apologize if anything we talk about or reference or ask questions about offends people who are asexual, but that is not our intention.
Yeah, it's not coming from a bad place. It's coming from an uneducated but
still curious.
place.
Yeah.
Personally, I know a lot of asexual friends. Like I have friends in Austin who are asexual, and I think that back half of that question of like, should I have sex just to have sex? Like, don't do anything you're uncomfortable with. This is just a blanket statement.
Yeah.
Just in general for general things, like whether it be drugs, sex, alcohol, rock and roll, church. I don't know.
Do the rock and roll part.
Okay, well apparently Ashley says do rock and roll. But it's like if you're not, don't do something if it'll make you uncomfortable. Like a lot of people experiment and try things. So like, if you're like, I mean, I'm not down for it, but I'm also not opposed to it. And you just, if it will make you happy, do it, but don't do it just to feel like you need to have a conversation with someone about sex. Because like there are other ace people out there who you can have not sexual conversations with.
Yeah.
Like, if it's something that you really want to do to try it, go for it, but don't do it to feel like you have to conform to some societal norms, because then you'll be in a bad headspace.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever the right approach for anything. It's like, you should only do something if you're like, I'm curious about this. I would like to try to experience it because I personally have questions about it. Not
Like
because
cocaine.
like, oh, people, if you want to do cocaine, then go ahead. I'm not.
No,
do
don't
cocaine.
actually do cocaine.
It's not good for you. But in terms of things like sex, it could just be that you've never experienced, so you don't feel like you want it or need it. So maybe it's one of those things where you should try masturbating, touching yourself, feeling if there's any sort of thing there. And if there's nothing wrong with you if you don't desire that kind of thing.
That's what I'm curious about. Okay, so if you don't have a sexual attraction at all, like I don't find
sexual desire.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like you don't
Is
find
it-
people attractive. I think it's like you don't have
It's just
anything.
a desire.
You don't have
okay,
the
so it's a
desire for
desire.
sex.
So it's like,
I believe.
Okay,
I could
yeah.
There's, no, because there's aromantic and asexual. So it's
Yeah.
like asexual is you don't desire sex, if I'm understanding this correctly, and aromantic is like you aren't like attracted to people and don't want relationships.
Right. So a romance is like just like let's be friends, and asexual is like I'll be your knight and you be that lady I can never have.
Exactly.
Wink, wink.
so I mean, is it one of those things where it's like you just don't ever have like orgasm at all, or like I don't have this.
Like
need
you have
this,
as far as I understand, it's that you have no interest in sex.
So like
Just,
you don't
as
even
a
want to
thing.
touch yourself. You don't want to orgasm. Like you have
you're
no
just not
desire
interested.
to orgasm.
Yeah, it's-
Like that you just don't get horny. You
Is
just
there
don't
like
feel
a
it.
spectrum of like, oh, I like masturbating, but I never want to have sex with another person?
I feel like just as there's a spectrum for bisexuality and
There might be that.
there's a spectrum for probably asexuality. Like you said, I like masturbating, but I don't want to have sex with another person. Or, you know, I can watch porn and get aroused, but when it comes to actually having sex with someone, I'm not for it. But or there's just like the very end of the spectrum where it's like no porn, no masturbating, no sex. I just don't feel it.
I feel like
Just
I'd
don't
be
care.
way more productive. I will say that. It's like, you know,
true,
like,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like you're focused, you're laser. It's like you don't get distracted by girls. You don't get distracted by like, you know, oh well, you know, because I have this thought process where if I'm like working at home or on the weekend or whatever, I'm like start doing stuff and I'm like, hey, I gotta get this done. I'm like, well, you know what? I would probably focus better if I like jerked off first.
yeah.
So I should probably do that, and then I'll be laser focused. And it's
And
like,
then you
Yeah, I
jerk
get
off, and
that.
then you take a nap.
and then I was like, oh, I should probably take a nap because then I'll be refreshed.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I wake up and I'll be like, all right, time to work.
But one more jerk
man,
off.
But like,
you
man,
know
if I
what?
jerked off one more time.
I should probably jerk off so I get that laser focus back.
Yeah.
And it's like a constant cycle.
It's weird though, because I had a friend, granted we were very young, it was like early years of high school, where she was like, I don't ever want to have sex. I'm not interested in it. I just don't want like a guy's dick inside me. That just like, the thought of it just grosses me out. And now has 3 kids.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh, she's had the dicks inside.
yes. So I'm not saying that everyone who is asexual, it's like, I'm not saying like, oh, you just need to try it. Absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like, you never know. If it is something you're questioning, I would say start off slow and maybe try something out if you feel comfortable. But it's not like, you're not being left out of society if you're not into it.
Also, I'm gonna quote Shane from the L Word here. Sexuality is fluid. Cause like, you don't have to label yourself as one thing. I feel like when you put yourself in a box, then you feel stuck and then you feel like you're lying to yourself if you start to have other feelings. So like, someone could say from like age 2, I'm gay and be gay till they die. But like, for a hot second, I thought I was a lesbian. And then I'm not.
It's very fluid.
It's very fluid. I feel like just do you. Just you do you. Just everybody do you. I'm done.
And yeah, and don't allow the pressures from society to make you think you have to be a certain way.
Exactly.
Or that you have to try a certain thing to feel accepted. Only do it if you want to do it.
Exactly. Just make yourself happy first. You always come first.
Yeah, I mean, and
Well,
like, and it,
Depends on the the
But
a couple of things though is like if you have like tried like watching porn just to see like if it makes you aroused and it doesn't, that I wouldn't be worried about that. Honestly,
Yeah.
I find porn hilarious.
Right. You were saying that you just critiqued people.
I critique the acting, and it's always bad. It's always bad. I tried watching Pirates.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny.
Well,
That-
yeah, but here's the
Pirates
thing is like
is a pretty funny porn.
But
That's
it's
more
supposed to be like
comedy.
high. But it's supposed to be like high production value.
I don't
and
like
it's
the
supposed
high
to be
production value.
like high,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
high budgets. And I was like,
Doesn't do it for me.
it means they're gonna like put a lot of effort into this porn, right? And it's like, and I was just like, they put a lot of money into this. The least you could do is act.
the best horrible acting porn is military-themed gay porn.
Oh,
I
The
could
acting is
honestly say
so
I've never
great.
seen that.
Well,
Yeah.
you are
Never-
missing
didn't know that was a
out.
thing.
But also, like, there's a lot of porn out there that does absolutely nothing for me.
It like turns me off.
So, and I have to find a very specific kind of person and kind of like what they're doing, and I have to scrub through to make sure like nothing's gonna gross me out if I'm watching it.
You like you're like
I like very vanilla.
pre-screen your porn.
I do pre-screen my porn.
You like vanilla porn?
Yeah, I do. Because I what I do with porn, I picture myself in the situation. And it's like if they're doing something that's like eating out someone's butt, I'm like, I'm never gonna do that, so I
Yeah.
can't really get off to this. So it could just be a matter of like you haven't found what you're interested in yet.
yeah. So that's one thing, and the other thing is, I don't know about you guys, but I found in the past, if I go like when I'm in, a dry spell, and it's been a while since I've been in a relationship or whatever, like I tend to lose interest. Like that part of my life is just sort of gone away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not really like I'm not masturbating, I'm not seeing anyone. It's just that part of my life is gone, and I don't feel like at the time that I miss it. It's like there was an off switch
Yeah.
that just just like slowly like slid down and went, you know what, I'm doing other things right now. Like I don't care, I'm fine. And it wasn't a thing that I missed, and it wasn't a thing that I thought that I needed.
Yeah.
And and then I finally like, something would happen. I don't know. For me, it would tend to be like I go out, have crazy night, one night stand, whatever, and then I'd be like, oh yeah.
I don't think that switch
I'd be
exists
like
for me.
Yeah. You think it's just always on?
Yeah. No, I mean I don't.
Well,
You're
Again, there's-
always open.
There's a spectrum.
Oh, there is a spectrum.
I mean, there are times when I'm exactly like that, where I just like, I have no desire at all, or like, I feel like I don't need sex anymore. And then there are times when I'm like, every single human being I look at, I'm like, I could fuck that. I should fuck that.
And I don't know if this is, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like it's more common for girls to have an on and off switch than guys.
I don't know if that's
Because
necessarily
Yeah, I mean, like you. The thing is, like, it's hard for us to be
I'm
like,
not-
you tell me.
I'm not saying it's one way or the other. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's like this is a universal thing, but I feel like girls are, I don't know. To me, it's one of those things, it's like, there's
more factors that go into.
well, I think it's just like, it's quite literally like a buildup.
Right.
It's like, there's stuff that's gotta come out. Like
well, a woman has to be
physiologically.
wet, yeah, in order to have a comfortable sex. She
Well,
has
or
to
no,
be-
I mean, just like as a dude, like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like a more primal weird like release of.
Well, also
of,
for guys, it's a health thing. Like you gotta keep your prostate healthy.
yeah, and mine's
gotta-
fucking healthy.
I bet it is.
I mean, I feel like that there's a point there. It's like we can have the on and off switch because we're just like, I don't feel like sticking my hand down my pants today if I'm not
Yeah.
dating anybody. But guys, it's like an actual health thing.
Well, it's
'Cause-
also
Well,
like
I don't even think of it that way. Sure, I'm
You're
like, yeah,
just
I gotta
like,
be
I'm
healthy
just
today.
worried.
Take my
That's
vitamins,
just
jerk
how-
off.
That's
It's
how
not
he
like that.
justifies it
At the same
afterwards.
time.
Gotcha.
No, but I do because it's like to me, it's like it is a build-up thing where it's like if I like.
if you've gone a couple days without it, you,
Oh
you
yeah,
start
it's
feeling it.
yeah. It's like
Do you get really like irritable and just like crabby?
no. It's just very much like
Not
Barbara
like
described.
not
Like every person,
crabby,
I'm like.
but like. You
But
know.
then like a light breeze
It
comes
is.
in
It is
and
a,
you
like. It is
just
like a way
ejaculate
more.
everywhere.
I feel like my mind just becomes way more sexual.
Yeah.
If it's where it's like every looking at a female, I'm like, it's really It
Yeah.
really is a distracting
I
thing.
could imagine.
Where it's like
It's
I
like
can't help.
The
I
movie, 40 Days and 40 Nights.
Exactly.
Starring Josh Hartnett.
Actually, quite enjoyed that movie.
And that chick that was in like a couple movies and then we never saw her
That
again.
movie turned me on. Not gonna lie.
There you
go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See
If
his
I,
boob, his boob dream? He was flying over a sea of just boobs.
yeah.
Boing, boing.
What a lovely dream.
But I think it's at least from my perspective, that's how it works. It's like it is a
For you.
yes.
Yeah. For a lot of guys, you know.
Yeah. Where
In
it's
your
like there's an end game here that has to happen.
I feel a little bit like there's a bit of a difference too between women, as like younger women probably in particular, and like young men in like whether or not it's okay to masturbate. I feel like I don't know, like as when I was younger, I remember feeling like,
Well, there's not a lot of like.
and like guys are just like, where's the sock?
Well, it's also there's not a lot of.
Did you have a sock?
I never used socks. Sorry. I mean,
Sorry.
the only time I used a sock was like, is socks a thing? Should I use a sock? And then I was like, I'll try a sock. And I'm like, I don't know if I like this sock.
I always heard of
Maybe it was
socks
just the
referred to
sock
as
in
man
particular.
napkins.
Ew. I mean, yay. I think it's also like there's not as much education about how a woman should masturbate.
Oh God. No.
Whereas a guy, it's pretty clear. You
jerk
stroke
it.
yourself.
The difference too is that we have so many options.
Yeah, there's like things you could put.
We got like the
in, things to
outsides
put
and we got the
on.
outsides and you know.
And if
we
you want,
got-
you just take your lips and just play with them like this. It just makes a little.
Also, like,
Sugar, 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 sugar.
How to Masturbate by Barbara Dunkelman.
That's how you, that's
even
how
say
you
that
turn
didn't
yourself
know,
into a
like, what
balloon,
clit
I
was
think.
for a really long time?
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause, like, I didn't either.
I didn't know what a clit was when I was younger.
Yeah.
I didn't know that like, oh, if you rub this for a certain period of time, it's gonna feel real good.
Yeah.
Romance novels, not exactly educational about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know where I learned most of my sexual education from? Fan fiction.
Yeah.
Because like really dirty fanfics teach you where things are.
Honestly, I think if you're like a young teenager, it's healthy to read that kind of stuff because you do actually learn like about interactions like that.
And like experienced women.
Don't think that's reality
No,
necessarily.
no, don't think that's reality, but like experienced women who have had sex will write about, like fan pairing sex scenes and like mention G-spots and clits.
Yeah.
And it's like, mention excuse me and excuse me. Like I didn't know what that was when I was younger.
That's true, although a lot of that stuff also then gets like blown way out of proportion.
God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've
a
read
level.
read erotica in the past. Like so I was like, can we just like skip and just go straight to the erotica? And like I was like, let's just sex scene to sex scene to sex scene to sex scene. That'd be great, thank you. And I read it and I was like, well, that's not true.
Yeah.
And I spent the rest of the time critiquing. I was like, girls, stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I probably had the same problem with porn, so I gave it up.
Just gotta find what you like. But as for Sydney here, I would say don't feel like you need to do anything that you're not comfortable with. And people who are saying asexuality doesn't exist, it does. I mean, I think we've learned that just from experience, the spectrum of sexuality and everything. And don't ever let someone tell you that what you are doesn't exist. Because you only know that for yourself.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sydney. And if you guys want to submit a question for Always Open, or if you have any segments that you would like us to talk about, you could email alwaysopen@roosterteeth.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Cheers.
Cheers.